Hey friends, wishing you a very happy new year in the year 2021. Unbloodtech has lots of interesting interviews lined up for you. Subscribe to our newsletter and stay informed. I am Meher Bala from Mumbai, India. I'm a WordPress developer and consultant by profession. I'm a foodie by passion. I co-host the Unplugged Tech show and also a, a team member of the marketing channel in Make WordPress. Today we have a very special guest on our show, and it's in none other than the second co-host, Ferry Dharawat. Let me pass on the mic to her to introduce herself. Hey, Ferry.
Hello, thank you for this warm welcome. I'm really happy to be on the show and actually kickstart uh, 2021 with this interview because it's really nice and to be interviewed by my Unplugged Tech co-host. Now that's special. So I'll tell you briefly about me. I am Ferry Dharawat. I'm a writer and I'm a content manager and I like to write and draw sometimes.
She's a creative drawer. I've seen her drawings; it's excellent. So, Ferry, can you describe your
Hmm.
professional journey in a little snapshot for our audience?
Yes, I will share it in a very short way because it's not very short. I started my journey not really as a writer, but as a person who would sell pens at a very ground level. I was 17. I started working in a corporate world when I was 17. And it wasn't a writer job, but about selling. And then after graduating as a commerce graduate, I started working as an HR associate. So you can see it's very different. But in both these professions, I really got to know two very important skills. One is persuasion. As a salesperson needs to be very good at persuading, and a very important role for an HR or a human resource is to be understanding about people. So these two skills combined really helped me to become a writer because my next job after these profile was as a journalist and then blogger, edtech blogger, and then now I'm a lifestyle writer. And all these things really help me in every step. So this is a very short snapshot of my journey as a writer.
So, you are a writer. In most of the professions, when we deal with B2C or B2B, we have to deal with brands who want their names, who want their brands to be at a top-notch quality, and so when you work with them, and when they become a little difficult to deal with issues, how do you handle them? Can you give our audience some tips on that?
Sure, I would love to. So, in my short journey, I also worked in agencies, and everyone would know copywriters and writers in agencies. It's very, I think, hectic is not really justifying the word, and I totally get difficult clients. In that case, I think you really need to have a very good team, okay, and you need to have good team chemistry so that they can have your back. Okay, so as a writer or a creative person, I have a client associate who's going to be talking for me to the brand. So your job as a creative person or a content creator or any kind of creator is to put your point across in a very firm way. So if you think that certain things is not aligned in your communication, you have to put it across and get your team on your side so that this can be communicated better. Uh, Similarly, there is a point where the difficult person or a difficult client is coming from because they are totally from a they are looking from the business perspective. They have more knowledge because it's a brand. You may have done your research, but it's their baby, or they have more stake in it. So you as a creative or a content person also needs to know this and come into a middle ground, be on a same page that you both can work in sync. So I think while you need to be very good in communicating where you come from and what can be implemented and not, the business, you also need to understand where they're coming from and you have to take their raw ideas and refine it. I think any content person or any creative person or anyone, someone who creates, they need to know this very in the back of the mind, they need to work on this.
But like you said, the team needs to have the back. But what if they don't have a team? So small firms have individual people assigned for, say, PR, one for development, one for HR. So they are solo, but they represent their firm and they're talking to the brand directly.
Hmm.
That time, how does one person handle a tough client, or how to tell them that I am I have I have trust in the brand and I know what the brand wants, and how do people do with.
Okay, I totally get where this is coming from, like so many of us actually go through it. Because when I say that the team has your back, you as a creative person also needs to convince the client person who is going to talk from their point of view. So in that case, you have to be a good communicator. I think this is a skill which you need to invest no matter what you're doing. Communication is key. Communication is how business is thriving. Two, again, you need to come on same page. You need to think from the client's perspective. Client is giving you money, they are believing in you. Though I do know that you also provide value, but it's their baby, like it or not, they are trusting you with something special. And even if you think, even the creative person thinks that uh, uh, they are giving they're totally changing the design, or there is a lack of communication happening, you need to know your services is to better their vision. I think this is a tough pill to swallow, but in a way they have their own vision, which they want your help to materialize. So I think the creatives need to know this. It's not always great, but you are working on someone else's vision and you need to respect that.
Great. So all you content writers, take tips. What Ferry has said is accurate, and she has loads of experience. So take tips, try to implement it in your life, but you can mold it a little bit according to what you feel will fit your brand or the brands you work with. So go ahead, implement them. So, Ferry, I got to know you in one of the word camps of Mumbai a couple of years ago, and you were talking about blogging journey and your blogging journey. So, can you tell us when and why did you start blogging?
Okay, so this is an interesting question for me because when I started my blogging journey, it was very late. When I made the shift from the HR, I spent all my energies in getting a job that paid, and I was like, I'm not gonna work for free, and I'm gonna just I would rather give a copy test and get a job than actually have my blog and write, because that is not gonna give me anything. And you know what? I was so wrong for that. I should have started writing from me from the start. So I got my job as a writer in 2013, no, 12, yeah, 2012. But I could have started by 2009 or 10 itself. But anyways, I started my blog in 2015, and it was just starting it. I mean, I just created it. That's it. It was, yes, WordPress. I didn't write anything. 2017 was when I actually started writing more, and 2020 was when I like really wrote a lot. I mean, I started writing more in 2020, but started the blog in 2015.
That's great. Yeah, it is difficult to continue writing, but keep writing. So,
Yeah,
can you
actually, it is difficult because I do. Yeah.
go ahead? Go ahead.
It is difficult to keep on writing when you don't know what to write. And you know what? In that case, don't write. I mean, honestly, ideas will come only when you enjoy the process, because we romanticize this thing that you have to write. It's okay if you don't want to write. For 5 years, I didn't write for me, but in 2020, I wrote like a maniac. I wrote so much. I wrote for me. Okay, professionally, I've been writing for the longest time. That is there. But for me, I wrote in 2020, and when I started enjoying the process is when I was the most productive, in a way that personally I was happy with that, and I also got like what I was looking for, that is likes and community acceptance or validation, because when you write what you like and you get appreciation, that feeling is amazing. So for all content creators and writers, write when you feel like, honestly, when it's a writing that you want to write when you feel like.
Great, right when you feel like. Perfect advice. So, as a friend, I know you've pushed me towards writing, and
I still
I've
do.
never been so successful.
No,
Maybe
you.
2021 will change. So, I remember you talking about your 100 days, 100 blog post. Can you tell us, our audience, about what is 100 days, 100 blog post, and why did you do it?
So there are so many challenges like these, and they are meant to push you. First and foremost, do it if you want. Okay. So 2020 start wasn't a great year, as you might have known. A lot of misery around, and that was this situation that prompted me to consider this challenge, because again, I wasn't writing for me, and that was the point when I realized, hey, you're not writing for you. So as a distraction, I thought, can I write for me? Can I write for something that I like, and take this 100 days 100 days 100 blocker challenge? And I did, and it was a really good thing because I honed my writing skill for the kind of writing that I like. And that makes you feel extra special, because you're getting better in what where you really want to get better. So I just enjoyed the process, and I think I don't have any secret sauce. I wrote what I like, that's it, and that's the only reason that fueled me to keep going on.
What motivates you as a writer? Like, usually, if you're a writer or anyone in the field, like a developer, there's always a roadblock which comes in everyone's mind. How do you deal with that, and what motivates you to, write more, write, just write stuff because you want your audience to read about it?
I think write for you. I think when you write for you, write as you're talking to yourself. I think that, if that makes sense, you write for you. I know people keep saying it and it's a cliche, but there's a reason why it's a cliche, because it's also true. When you write for you, when you write as a conversation, like you're having a conversation with you, or you write like you're writing a diary, you're expressing yourself. And I think not I think humans are expressive beings, humans are creative. What is creativity? You create something out of nothing. Like even a coder is a creative, website developer is a creative, but we just think, only writing is creative. Let me tell you that being a writer is not always being creative, because we do work in a very boxy environment where we have strong briefs and we're not supposed to deviate, which I understand again where it comes from. But so creative is totally the way you deal with something that is given to you. Okay, so again, coming back to your question on how to like motivate yourself, I don't think so there needs to be even this question that, okay, what should I do to motivate myself to keep writing? Okay, don't, if that question arises, there is something wrong, that you have some difficulty in continuing it. So in that case, just relax. One is writing for work, which, okay, it's totally professional, and one is writing for you. Keep that as a leisure activity, please, because when you have a channel of expression through a creative outlet, it really develops you develops your inner life and your personality. So I don't I don't know if this answers your question on how to motivate you when you don't feel like motivated to write for you. Don't write if you don't feel motivated.
Maybe not writing may, give you a break for a couple of days, and your mind may start working. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Like we need to recharge, when you write, when you're giving out, when you're writing it or when you're creating it, you're giving. You also need to recharge. This is like take it as a recharge. You need to be full to give. So think of it like that. If you think you're not being motivated, then what is lacking? Then work on that. It would usually be sleep, food, and mental health. I think these three things mostly affect your motivation usually.
Can you describe your blogging journey to for our audience?
Blogging journey, like I said, 2015 was when I started it, and it was just there was nothing. 2017 I started experimenting with short poems and fiction, and they were like okay. And then 2020 is when I thought, okay, let me see if I can do this as a challenge, because I really want to write this. So I started writing fan analysis about a comic, a Japanese comic, and illustrator. His name is Junji Ito, and I loved his writing. And what I wrote is totally different from what I usually give advice to writers. And when they write, they're not supposed to write a lot of adjectives and description, but that's exactly what I did with my post. And that post is now ranking on first page in Google. So if you know about long tail keywords, if you type that keyword, you will find that my blog is ranking first. And that feeling was amazing. And that's where I come from when I say that write when you want to write. So, like, there is only one advice, that don't follow any advice. And that kind of proof for me for this point. Uh, Again, I would like to say that this one blog which started ranking because I did internal links with that blog, writing on the same author, and then interlinking with that article helped me to get more post rank on first page. So right now, currently, there are around 7 blog posts from the same author ranking on first page. So uh, yeah, thanks. It feels really good to have that, because it's a community. Like what I'm writing, people who like this author, and and I like the author. There are people coming to me and saying that, hey, you're writing good. And that I don't think I can describe that feeling, how it makes you feel. And it kind, for a writer, a validation of that kind is like supreme. All right. So I would definitely tell you to write for you. And if you wanna join any writing community, please go for it. I did went for it, though. I can't say the benefit was great, but it was there. It benefited me. But write for you, keep writing, be consistent, and if you can afford any writing classes or anything, go for it. But you don't really need it. If you can do it on your own, if you're motivated enough. But if you need help and you can afford it, please go for it.
So, as I know you personally also, you've just said a couple of minutes back that now you are into support.
Yeah.
So, how does a writer's what are the benefits of being a writer help in support?
Oh, so being a support is an interesting journey, because every day something comes that challenges your knowledge about product. Okay, so what is the job of a writer? It's to explain things, make your communication as easy as possible for your audience. So being in customer support really questions how much you really know. So that's one thing, which is why a good writer knows their stuff. A good writer is good in not good. A good writer is great in research. So being in customer support is really gonna challenge you and sharpen your product knowledge. So not only you are improving your communication skills, which I am, because customers can be very annoying, but they also have a point. Like I said, for clients, they do bring in insights which can be adopted by a company, and you will be the right person because you implement communication. You can be the bridge between the management and the customer. Okay, so this is a very sweet spot, you can say that you know how to explain to the customer. When you have good product knowledge, you just don't have to take a template and make it impersonal. You can make it personal, make the customer realize that where you as a company are coming from. And for a customer, they would also, when you use certain languages, like for example, what I do is when a customer is very agitated, I would use words that calm them down and really look into the problem. Like for example, there is one writing rule that you come to the point right away. But then if but then when you're in customer support, if you come right away, it might seem very aggressive. So you try to decide these small things and draft your replies, so you can make the customer see from your point of view. And it is challenging, and it is also very informational, you know. So I think it's where, if anyone, not just a writer, if anyone can get a chance to work in customer support, please do. It is going to improve your product knowledge a lot, and may I say also help you in your career.
Interesting. Thank you for the insights. So now we know that you're a blogger, you are a content writer, you're a co host. Besides that, what else do you do?
So I like words, and for a brief moment, I used to teach vocab, like how to use words uh, in the best way. Like, okay, I don't know how to say this. So my student, I used to teach them how to use new words in their daily life. So a word like, say, description, they wouldn't be using it, and they would be using more explaining. I would teach the nuances of using the word description on how he can, use it in their daily lives. And it was very interesting, and I called myself vocab coach, and I liked the sound of it.
That's nice. So tell us something about your drawing as well.
I used to draw, and I used to, like, all these creative things happen in 2020, but no, I did more in 2020. I started drawing in 2017 onwards. Like, I would do these really intricate drawings, but because I found some really nice pens in stationery, and yeah, I mean, I like flowers and curves, and I would just do them. You can check my Instagram, and it has some of those drawings. I'm not continuing right now, but I think I should. It's good for being in the moment and zen, and it's nice, it's fun. Like, really, when I feel very overwhelmed, I try to slow down by drawing. So yeah, that helps.
Definitely. It does help, slowing down. If you want to slow down, a creative activity does help, and drawing is best. You can even scribbling you is drawing. Like you can scribble
Of
something
course
and
it
make
is.
something creative. You
Of
never
course, I
know.
mean,
Like
I'm so happy a lot of grown-ups are actually taking up drawing. And for when I started, like, used to doodle or scribble, that was like, okay, what you're doing? Okay. And now, okay, a lot more grown-ups are understanding the power of doodling, or drawing when they're idle, because how it helps them to be in the moment. Because what happens is, sometimes when you're overwhelmed with a lot of emotions, or a stressful situation, our mind runs really fast, and then we don't really know what to do with that energy. So when you draw or doodle or do something like this, it kind of calms you down and brings you to the moment. And yeah.
that's that's perfect advice, I would say. To anyone who's listening in, if you want to calm yourself down, start drawing.
Yes, please
And
do.
I'm sure Fairy would love to see your drawings as well.
Yes, you can tag me as well. I'm a nice person. I would reply to that. I always reply.
Oh, she always replies. She's she's a very down to earth person. She's sweet. She will she will actually tell you also that you can add this element, you can add that element, and when you add small elements to your idea, it becomes more real. It becomes it adding elements, you don't realize that it can change a, a standard drawing into something pretty, so do reach out to her.
Yes, please.
So Ferry, as we always ask all our guests on the show, what is your success mantra? Do you believe in one, and if yes, do you have one?
I think you know me better for this. I really don't know, honestly. I try thinking about it and then I forget. You forget things sometimes because it's not important. So it's not that success is not important for me, it is, but defining is very difficult for me. But I think balance is very important, which I also struggle with, and striking a balance. But this is like very unbalanced one. How are you going to be very balanced? And it's such an unreachable goal. I don't know what really success means. Is like when you get what you want, and your wants are always going to be like changing. So the definition of success for you is also going to keep on changing. So yeah, I think that's one thing. Get what you want, that is success. And being balanced, like you want good health, you want your friends and family to have good health, and you have energy and time to do what you want and what you like. I think when you have these buckets sorted, I think then you are successful. Yeah.
Nice. Yes. Yes. I believe in what you said. So, our audience, if you're a little demotivated, if you're a little de-stressed, just go with whatever Fairy said right now. It apps to everyone's life.
Actually, because when you say success, a lot of things also come up. Like, I want to impress everyone. I
Oh,
don't
that's
like that
difficult.
at all. Because logically it is not possible. But when I think what I really want, okay, I think I really want to be impressive. But that is not logical. But that is the truth that is gonna make me happy. I know it's wrong, but it is. For some things you can't help it. So that is why being like, what is success? It kind of stresses you out to achieve that elusive goal. So I think you have to constantly define what it is for you, because there was a point. So there was a point in a way. It's sometimes okay. I want to be impressive. I want everyone to do this and that, but that's not going to help. And I know this personally. I've gone through it. So you can't impress everyone. You can't make everyone happy with your work. All right. So especially for creatives and freelancers who want to like be successful, and when you don't have people in your team who have your back. Okay. So success then means very different. So yes.
Yeah, that is actually the number one rule of marketing as well. You
Mm,
you are not here to impress everyone. You're here to build your own niche. So
mm, mm, mm. True.
impressing everyone, I think you will only get disappointed at the end of the day. So create your niche. You'll succeed in that.
True. Like really be focused. Work on being focused. I think we have so much clutter and things that ask for our attention. At this point, focus becomes a very integral resource that you need to uh, keep it with you. Only use it for certain things and not for everything. So yeah.
Cool. So, if people want to contact you, if our audience wants to contact you, which social medias are you on so that they can reach out to you? And your
I look
handle
at
if you.
I look at my blog every day. That is Fairy Dharawat blog. Go and read my stuff and make me happy. You can always follow me on Unplugged Tech. Yes, please come on Unplugged Tech. Like our page, like we are everywhere. So I'm always there as well. Instagram, yes, I'm not so much on Facebook. Twitter, I'm very active. So you can tweet me at Fairy Dharawat. So yeah.
So, audience, if you have any questions related to drawings, content writing, or even support, go ask her. Shoot out questions to her.
Yes.
She'll help. And also,
Yes.
let's tag Unplugged Tech. Maybe you know we'll invite you to come on show, and let's see if other of our members of the audience can help you out.
Yes, please. Unplugged Tech is made for people like you and me, so that we have a platform that we can invite people who have interesting stories to share with the audience. And you know how we are. Like, we are like really friendly and we're very welcoming, and we would love to host you. So please consider joining our show, or just tell us if you want anyone to be on our show. We'll be happy to have them as well.
Yes, we would. We would definitely be. Any last thoughts you would want to share to additional whatever you just said?
Yes, 2021 is looking interesting. I'm really excited for Unplugged and how it's gonna look. And again, I'm so happy to actually start to 2021 with Unplugged interview because Meher knows how much I wanted to be on the show. Hey, let's have me, please. Come on, it's my show. I can be on the show. I can be interviewed. So I'm really happy to be here. And this positivity and we want to share it with you all as well. So I think that's about it. Thank you for tuning in and staying till the end. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us.